So in the way you know how to do it is you just start it here.
I'm not doing it.
And this is your arch here. And then you want to take it.
Get done. Get done. Are you done? All right.
Let's see. Yep.
Okay.
Matched it up.
Here we go.
Okay. It makes me think of, like the old time days where they call for makeup.
I'm going to put Kleenex in my collar and keep it off my shirt.
Past the fire, past the sounds. Moonshine through the clouds, saddle up, 'cause there's no stopping me now.
Okay, so we're back for part 2.
Here we go. Get ready for another exciting episode. Are we on?
We are.
Living well together.
Big life in a small town. Part 2 of Heart Health Month.
Yeah, last time we were talking about cardiovascular health, and we were talking about it as though the heart were just a pump, like a mechanical pump,
Yes.
and the vascular system was just a system of hoses and
Yes.
pressure valves, and
Yeah.
and it kind of is
Well,
that.
it is, yeah. I mean, it really
The
is.
physical portion of it.
Yeah.
But the other thing for the heart is it
Yeah.
is the emotional
The
center.
emotional center.
And, there's a connection between your gut and your brain and your heart. And so things that are not physical in the body can create physical change in the cardiovascular system. Emotional things can change your heart.
Exactly.
I'm going to let you run with some of these because
No,
you're better at it.
I feel like it feels very woo-woo, like woo-woo,
Well, but thoughts
quote
are
unquote.
things.
But thoughts are things, and it does create, like you use the perfect example about how we can imagine things in our minds or be watching a movie and have those responses, whether it's your heart starts racing faster or...
If you cry at TV commercials,
Yeah.
that's affecting your heart.
That's affecting your heart.
And it's affecting your emotions, and it's hitting certain parts of the brain that just love whatever that emotional connection. Now, and it works both ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's why scary movies are scary, right? You're not in it; it's not real,
Right.
But you can feel your heart start to race or
Yeah.
beat faster.
Your physiology changes. For
Or you
sure.
can, or when there's a scary thing, it also creates that pit in your stomach. So thoughts are things and emotions are things.
Yeah.
Words matter.
Right.
Because these are things that can tip your physiology either in a good way or a bad way. It's just important to understand it.
Well, and I think that it's important to know that the heart it's a physical thing.
Yes.
That is life-giving to us, but that it's also emotional, electrical, and relational.
Okay.
And that we've been taught to care for our hearts physically, or we're
Guard
hoping...
your heart.
Guard
Gotta
your heart.
guard your heart.
But that's the emotional part.
Yes.
That's the guard your heart part. And we're not necessarily taught about how to support our hearts emotionally. And I don't, guard your heart. I get that, but also I feel like that we don't always have to guard our heart. That sometimes we need to be more open and loving too in certain situations. I think that if we're in an unsafe situation, yes, guard your heart. But being open and loving and kindness and spreading that around from an open heart, I think is really important in this day and age. I think society needs more of that open heart.
Okie doke.
Do you not?
I think you got to be
about your
careful.
patience.
I think an open heart is a place where the enemy can walk in and take up root.
Oh, wait a minute.
I think,
no. If you have an open heart out of love for other people,
Yeah.
to me, that's the Holy Spirit. I don't think that the devil can get in there if the Holy Spirit is filled there.
Right. No, if it's filled with the Holy Spirit, there's no room for anybody else.
So
I agree.
So maybe I was unclear about where I was going with that.
I might have just heard you wrong.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's just caution. Caution is king.
Yeah.
And knowing that emotional things do create physiological change. And so I think we should talk probably about nourishing your emotional self.
Right.
And your spiritual self. And then nourishing also your physical self. Nutrients and certain
let's-
deficiencies to cardiovascular function will create malfunction. So when you say electrical, we can talk about the nerve system. Like the brain doesn't, or the heart doesn't beat until the brain tells it to.
Right. Yeah.
So we talked about a little bit of that the last time.
We did. We talked about that.
Neurological
plenty.
story.
But the stress component of that.
Yes.
And the stress that comes from so many different places and how it keeps the body in survival mode. I mean, that's very important. But a lot of times that stress is emotional.
Oh, yes.
We feel it emotionally.
Yeah. In fact, there was some of the studies or some of the research from, and again, not recently, they used to think it was the guy who just smoked and ate bacon every day. But do you know who shows up with heart attacks?
Yeah.
Well, what day of the week are the most heart attacks?
Aren't they Monday?
It is Monday.
Yeah.
Is it AM or PM?
AM.
It is Monday
When they're
AM.
getting ready to go to work.
So people are trapped in jobs or careers that they do not love and do not support their highest, spiritual good. So the research says if you can smoke if you want, you can eat bacon every day. If you are married to a person who loves you and loves you, you love them, and you have work that is fulfilling in a career that you appreciate, you're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Because the emotional load is what frequently drives cardiac stress and results in the collapse of the tissue.
So another part of our practice is emotion code and body code work. And we have 3 practitioners that are so gifted in this work. And I was a practitioner at one point years ago. I actually have my certification for it, but now I am a client. And I try to be a client at least every couple of weeks or so. And I have a lot of trapped emotions or physical traumas or emotional traumas that are situated around my heart. Sometimes it's because of just the excess stress from whatever we're working through, not you and I, but just on a business level.
Sure. Family things, kid
family
things. There's always
when there's
things to manage.
worry or
Sometimes the load feels
concern.
heavier than other things.
And it's all different types of emotions. Sometimes it can be overjoy. Sometimes it can be anxiety. Like there's all these emotions that can get
Grief.
trapped. Grief.
Loss.
Oh my gosh. Especially in the heart with grief.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. And
But that's where the emotion code, body code stuff can be so helpful. That's not easy to explain for me.
and that's the woo-woo part.
Right.
So as we're talking about it.
But emotional things get trapped. They get trapped in cells, and
they
the heart is
create an
kind of in that
energy of
center.
their own.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
It changes the whole vibrational frequency of that person, and that's where you can, like, even with strangers, like when you're in the grocery store, you can like get in somebody's space and know very quickly this is somebody whose space you do not want to stay in.
Right.
Energetically.
Yeah.
And then there's other people. It's like, gosh, I always feel so good when I'm around that
Right.
person.
Yeah. Or
And-
you can pick up on their sadness.
Sure.
Or
Facial expression, body tone, posture, all these things
Right.
talk about,
and you can feel,
the heart condition of people sometimes.
So that is definitely something that has to be factored in. And so with body code, once those emotions are identified, and they can be anywhere throughout the body, but a lot of times it is heart or heart chakra.
Heart wall.
There's heart walls, and there's also the family heart.
Sure.
It's how we all dynamically work together, whether it's our you and I family, extended family, our work families, within a community, that those families, like it's just groups of people. And so all of us, as the dynamics between us, they can change how you are physiologically too. And so making sure that the family heart is clear and whole is very important for the overall health of the person too. Does that make sense? Does it sound really wild?
Well, no, because it's common conversation in our life, in our
Right.
world. But you know what? There's probably people that will catch wind of this, and they're thinking, those guys are nut jobs. And so,
So we're planting the seed of it.
well,
Yeah.
it's just important to understand that everything is energy.
Everything is
has a
energy.
frequency. And the question is are the things in your life, whether it's the house you live or the place you live, whether it is the people with whom you associate, or it might be, I don't know.
It all matters.
It's not easy to explain, but it does
Yeah.
all matter. The
Yeah.
music you listen to,
Right,
the
yeah.
programming on the television that you enjoy or don't enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed when people tell me they watch like those CSI shows.
I know.
Where there's
About
just murder
murders.
and mayhem and craziness. And it's like,
Yeah.
hold the phone. Why
I
are we
know.
letting that into our energy?
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
You know, some people say, well, I just love the music. I don't listen to the lyrics. Well, guess what? The lyrics, if the lyrics are satanic, the music doesn't matter.
So coming over here, I was listening to Matthew West, and it's like, it's just, you know, my Jesus music. It just makes me so happy. And it's like it just clears your brain, and all of the things that you surround yourself with, they're affecting your heart.
It does.
Like my heart
It changes
felt good
cardiac function. It changes the resonation through your whole being.
Yeah. You're so much better about music at home, especially. Like I'll just be going about my day and I don't really think about the music. But then when I got in my car and that was playing, I'm like, oh my gosh, this just makes me feel so happy and joyful and purposeful.
But it has an impact, you know, and sometimes things will make you cry, even joyful tears, good tears.
Yeah.
Like I said, there used to be a commercial on TV. I want to say it was for AT&T.
Okay.
And it was this family that was sitting around the dinner table, and the phone rings. And this is back before everybody had a cell phone in their lap. But the mom got up to answer the phone. She had to leave the room, go into the kitchen. She answered the phone. And when she came back into the room, she had this stunned look on her face. Okay. And the husband said, "Is everything okay?" She said, "It was Junior."
Oh.
And the husband said, "Is everything all right?" "He just called to tell me that he loves me." And it made me cry every time. And I'm like, what in the actual heck? So it's important to understand that that's why the TV is there, by the way.
Yeah.
The TV is a master manipulator of emotions.
Yeah.
And you just have to know that. Because those are the things that affect cardiovascular health and function, which is kind of where we started this whole conversation.
Yeah.
So being careful with what you let into your heart
Yeah.
is a big deal, I think.
Well,
So there's an open-heartedness that people need to, I understand what you're saying, but I think you got to guard what's going on because certain things don't belong here and they don't have a positive impact. And we need to just got to know that.
for sure. And so I think about it as a filter. So we need a filter for our mouths sometimes, and we do need a filter for our
Called
heart.
discernment.
Discernment.
Yes.
That's the perfect word. But also when you think of it from like an air filter or water filter, it makes more sense. It's like it's keeping the bad stuff out and, you know, letting the good stuff through. Because if you guard your heart too much, if you do have a heart wall, then you are blocking somebody else's love from getting to you. You know, so you have to be careful with that too. In truly working with one of our practitioners or any body code practitioner, if you know of somebody.
Do some homework on the body code, the emotion code.
It is worthwhile, especially in this day and age when there's so much piled on us and you start wondering, why am I feeling this way? What is happening to me? I don't feel like myself anymore. And by identifying and releasing those trapped emotions, it can reset you to what feels right to you, what feels best for you, on an energetic, emotional, and a physical level, definitely a spiritual level. So that, you know, it's really important. Another way of resetting the heart is through frequencies too. So we were talking about music, and that's a big part of it. The other is whole tones music. If you can, you know, research that you can find that on, I think they have their own website and you can stream that. But then also, I love to just listen to my Bible app. That's really nice if you have had kind of a day of it. And right before you fall asleep, just putting on Galatians or First Thessalonians or whatever your favorite, it could be Proverbs and Psalms. You know, whatever resonates with you. Sometimes I just let it just run all the way through and just listen to that on, you know, just softly as you're being soft. And it really does help to settle your heart. The other thing that we found to help frequency wise is the Vemi bed. You know, that's a cellular frequency that also affects the heart.
It's important to understand what, from a body health standpoint, there is a cellular frequency for healthy vibrations.
There is.
So anything that takes those cells away from that frequency means those cells automatically become less healthy.
So what kind of music disrupts the cells? I mean, I'm
We'll
pretty
do a little homework. There was a certain period in time that the frequency of all music was changed.
Yeah.
It used to come out at like 432 hertz or something like that, and then they bumped it to like 450 or 470.
Yeah.
It was modified.
It went to like 444 or
And the
something
purpose
like
of the modification was not to our advantage.
that. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Church bells used to resonate at a certain frequency, and church bells were actually taken out of most communities because that frequency was healthful. So there's like been this sinister plot to change the cellular frequency of human beings. This is a rabbit hole that I'm not sure we want
I
to go
know
down.
we don't want to go down that, but just knowing that there are different frequencies, and especially with the Vemibed, because it's helping the heart
Yes.
to reset, but it's because all of the cells are then in rhythm with each
Just
other.
think of it
It's
like a symphony.
synchronization.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, we've used that analogy.
But things that
before.
disrupt it are your cell phone, your television,
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, routers, 5G. These are all things that interrupt normal, healthy cellular frequency for people.
Right.
And so the periodic reset is making sure your nerve system's clear.
Right.
A clear,
Yep.
healthy spine and a clear, healthy nerve system.
Yeah.
Brain-to-body communication.
Oops, sorry.
And then the vibroelectric frequency stuff that we use, we have that here in the practice currently. But that's worth your homework and time.
Yeah.
Because those are the things that kind of reestablish a baseline of normal cellular frequency.
It's from a frequency standpoint, and then
Food
adding
is frequency.
that is true. Yeah.
So eating healthful things, live food that vibrates at a certain frequency, which
It
is
depends
weird
on who
but
cooks
true.
it too.
Your secret ingredient is always that. I've told you that since
I know.
the time we first met.
Yeah.
The secret ingredient for you is just the love that you put in
Right,
to the food that you prepare. This
Yeah,
sounds
adding-
so,
I know.
when we go back and listen to this episode, people are going to be like, those
No.
people are on drugs.
No, because our people are the people that tune in.
Yeah,
so
that's
they're
true.
going
It
to
doesn't
get
make sense to you too now.
And there are other woo-woo habits that can actually be life-changing, like just talking out loud to your house. Like the frequency of your home heart too.
Prayer out loud.
Prayer out loud. Yes,
Prayer
that's true.
is, what do they call intercessory prayer?
Yeah.
Where you are praying
for
for
others.
your people and for your space and clearing your space of anything that's unclean or unhealthy or unholy is a big deal. And I listened to a book. What was the book? Oh, it was Bill O'Reilly's Killing the Witches.
Oh,
He's got a whole series on the killing things. He's killing Jesus, killing Hitler, killing
Oh,
JFK,
yeah,
killing the
okay.
mafia, killing the Third Reich. I mean, his books I love because he does an extraordinary amount of historical background information. So this one was about the Salem witch trials. So he goes all the way back through to the Mayflower and
Okay.
gives you the Mayflower experience. Here's why people left England. Here's how they left. Here's what the Mayflower was only like 25 feet wide
crazy.
and 100 feet long.
it was in Columbus for a while. Did you ever get
The
on it?
replica
Yeah,
was.
yeah. Oh
But
yeah,
anyway,
the replica.
my point was through the end
Sorry,
of
it
this
wasn't
book,
that one.
he talks about the real life experience
Yeah.
that was the movie that became The Exorcist.
Oh wow.
So he goes into, there's a lot of scientific research that talks about spiritual things and their effect on physiology and the process of clearing them or exorcising demons. Or things that don't belong. So I mean, again, it's a deep dive. There's,
Yeah,
you
it's a
you
deep
can
dive.
do a lot of different exploration.
But if you're struggling either with, truly cardiovascular issues or an emotional heart
emotional
issue,
heart stuff,
then these are all
matters.
things to consider. One of the important reassurances that I want to make sure that people understand with body code and how it's different from like talk therapy is that you don't have to relive traumas, which I think is important. And you don't have to talk through the details. It just needs to be identified by the practitioner and then released. It's so simple.
And it can be done remotely. You don't have to be on a couch. You don't have to be in the same office. You
Right.
don't have to be in the same space. It can be done in a remote fashion.
Yeah, virtually.
And
I'll
Yeah.
include a picture of me having a body code session. I'm just laying there all cuddled up in a blanket. It's just so nice.
yeah.
So just to put some clarity around that
Yeah.
process too.
Let's talk
And-
about some things you can do to nourish your heart, though.
To nourish, yes, absolutely. Well, one of the other things that I wanted to hit on with family hearts is that one person's healing can shift a whole household. So as one person
Wait a
feels
minute. You mean
because-
your health affects me?
Yes, exactly.
You mean your health affects your children?
Yes.
You mean who you are affects other people?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
And kids mirror unspoken
hard.
stress.
Oh my
so
gosh.
children feel it. They're like little sponges, and they can't articulate what they're feeling or what they're understanding or even what they're hearing, but it gets in there.
And words matter.
And words
the words
matter.
we speak to them, the words that they hear are sucked right into their cells, and telling people how bad they are, telling people they're not good at things, or telling people they're somehow pesky or misbehaving.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. No.
If we just begin to reward the behavior we prefer,
Yeah.
it's amazing how we can change
Yeah.
the way those hearts behave.
So healing isn't always personal. A lot of times it's relational. So just making sure that we're doing the right things there. So, but no, I wanted to just touch on those things real fast before we moved on. And yes, let's talk about supplements, because supplements that are grown organically are full of life. They're life-giving, right?
Well, it's hard to get life out of most of the food we eat.
Right.
I was in Kroger's the other day. First time I've been in the Kroger's for a while. And I'm amazed at how much of the product on the shelves is edible, but not food.
I know.
I mean, it's wild.
Yeah.
And,
Are you talking about all the prepackaged food?
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, 80% of what's in there has no business going in for human consumption. So, and we've talked about this in previous episodes. When you're shopping, shop the perimeter of the store. That's where
Correct.
the live food
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
So the produce section, the meat section, some dairy but all that stuff's on the perimeter of the store. Everything that's in the middle of the store is prepackaged, designed for shelf life, and much, much further away from nourishment. So I don't know. I was kind of amazed by that. What did I talk about that? Oh, well, my point is supplements are not negotiable. Supplements are essential.
Right.
And they
really are.
You
at this
need
point.
to add nutrients to your body because you're not getting it from the food you eat. That's just the reality of things.
Yes, but then the quality of the supplements matters, which we've talked about before too. But speaking specifically during Heart Health Month, about some of the products that we recommend through standard process to add some rebalancing to the
Just nourishment. It just upregulates what would otherwise be normal function. And food chemistry is also affecting electrical function.
true.
Right.
Yes.
So it's
because it can block it.
minerals,
Yeah.
vitamins,
Minerals are
nutrients
so essential.
work
B
in
vitamins.
conjunction with the electrical system in the
Yes.
body.
Yes.
So there's a couple of ways to blow your electrical circuits, and one of them is nutrient deficiency.
Yep.
One of them is toxicity. Right. And so if we overload things, the deficiency and the toxicity create this nightmare for cardiac function. So one of the things that if everybody would just do a handful of things,
Okay.
like if you just grabbed yourself a good omega-3, a good source of omega-3s. Do you have that in your sheet?
No, I have a different one. Yours is the blood pressure one. But yes,
Well-
omega-3s are excellent for that. And you do have to be careful. You want to make sure they can get rancid really
Right.
fast. And that's why you don't want to buy those jugs of them at Costco.
Right.
You want to make sure that they're sourced ethically and that they are pure. And so that's one of the reasons why we use standard process, because we do trust them
Yes.
and the quality and the standard of excellence that they provide. But I mean, the omegas are an excellent one. You talked about it last week as far as for the health of the brain.
Right.
Those
They also
good
are
fats.
anti-inflammatory, though.
And they're
So part of the
anti-inflammatory.
challenge with cardiovascular disease is it's an inflammatory nightmare. And so anything that brings your C-reactive protein down and your normal inflammatory markers back in check can only be beneficial to cardiovascular function as
Right.
well.
Yeah, exactly. And the other big one that we've seen, even with the heart sound recorder, is B core or B complex, the CardioPlus B.
You can watch that change
And
heart sound recordings in minutes.
we are so deficient in B vitamins, most people.
Yes.
And I have a lot of clients through telewellness that are on B12 shots, the injections of them.
Stress just drains B vitamins from the system.
Burns it up. But taking the B12 shots, they still need a CardioPlus whole B complex.
Something that's going to just sustain nourishment to the
Yes,
tissue.
exactly. They work synergistically together,
Yes.
and so that you need all of them. But it's going to contain it's just going to provide long-term B support.
Do you
to
have
take a supplement.
CardioPlus on your sheet?
I do have CardioPlus on my sheet.
It is
because
idiot proof. Anybody over 40 should be taking CardioPlus.
Absolutely. It's an excellent source of, it's got another B6 in there component and also niacin, but it just is going to help that muscle. The heart is a muscle. And so it's bringing all of those other good nutrients right into that heart muscle so that it can function most effectively.
Yep.
You know, we were talking a lot about the valves and the veins and the arteries, but it all comes down to the heart as far as pushing it all out there. So it has to be strong. It also has ingredients that are helpful for circulation, antioxidant activity. It supports energy metabolism. So if you're an athlete, supporting your heart muscle is going to make it's going to help you with your workouts. And if you're a runner, helps with distance running and also sprinting because it feeds that heart. I also have Easy Mag in here. Easy Mag is not one of my favorites. I actually prefer the Symbiotica Magnesium Complex. Because
the thing I like about Easy Mag, though, is I know that it's one of the only magnesium supplements that does, in fact, cross the blood-brain barrier. So not only is it supporting cardiovascular health, it is also supporting brain health. And again, remember, anything that reduces stress in the body, and magnesium deficiency is technically a very stressful circumstance.
Correct.
So anything that nourishes brain and heart is going to reduce the stress in the system, and the whole system gets to run better.
Yeah.
So sleep is important, cramping, muscle stuff, but it's a green sourced magnesium that I know gets into the brain. Not all magnesium will cross the blood-brain barrier.
Yeah, Symbiotica's does too.
Okay.
But either one of those, the Symbiotica is the liquid.
The liquid, that's what, okay. So yes, if you got littles, then the liquid is very helpful.
The liquid is awesome. The Easy Mag is a capsule.
Yes.
And so you can always open.
Tablet. It's a tablet.
Oh, it's a tablet. Okay. Well, then you can't open it up and give it to them.
You can crush it though. You can powder it, and you can put it in food. You can sprinkle it into your smoothie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can throw it into your smoothie container and just grind it up. I was really excited. I talked to Abby, our standard process rep, this morning. Okay. We were on a call, and she was filling me in. They just got back from their national convention, which was last week, and so she was filling me in on all the good stuff that they learned, and they're creating a new website. So I'll be able to. Like with Crunchy and with FullScript, I'm able to create a cart or a protocol that I can just send to my clients so that they don't have to like navigate.
Can we put a link for that?
The website.
We need to put a link or a QR code because we have modified the way we do some of our nutrient support.
Yeah.
And so they have direct access to you and our website.
Exactly.
As opposed to having to be here in the office. So that's a change that we made just in January.
It's been so fun to see.
And
everybody's doing so good with it.
But it gives them direct access to both product and you.
Yes, if they have questions about any of the things,
we'll put a
I'm
link
happy
to that
to help.
for the show notes.
Yeah. The other thing for heart health is hawthorn. Oh, I just wanted to tell you the other thing that I learned about the from Standard Process is they are having a kid's prosymbiotic. So it's in like a little stick form, and there's no, how when you open up the prosymbiotic, it's sweet, and we're able to like have babies take it. Yeah, they love it. It's but there's no sweetener in it. There's no sweetener in this stick pack either.
Okay.
But it's got all kinds of amazing things for gut function for kids, and I am so excited. It's I can pre-order some tomorrow, but I was thinking about honey for sure, to be able to just build up their immune system.
It's super smart.
The thing, any baby that was a C-section baby, any baby that's ever been on antibiotics, any baby that's ever had a cold, getting on a good probiotic is so important.
Yes.
And the good thing about prosymbiotic.
So maybe we'll do a show on gut health.
We can do gut health. Not heart health.
Let's go back to where we started.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Weed, seed, and feed. There,
yes.
I got it done. Okay. Sorry. Okay. The other one that I wanted to talk about was hawthorn. Hawthorn is an herb.
Yep.
Is that on your page too?
It is.
Yeah. I love hawthorn. It's something else that I also take. We talked about the fact that I take blood pressure medicine that's that helps with that sometimes. But I always take hawthorn because I do feel like it supports a healthy cardiovascular system. I think of it as just helping to gently guide my cardiovascular system to do the right thing.
It's a plant
product. It's not going to override anything.
That is, So many of the things that we could use to just support our health and well-being. Well, where did Adam and Eve live?
Yeah, garden.
In the garden, right? So there's all these beautiful things. And most drugs that we deal with today are derived from a plant source at some point.
Yeah.
But when you go right back to organically grown hawthorn, the nourishment to cardiovascular tissue and the vascular system as a whole is supreme. So again, it's not about managing disease. It's about doing the things necessary to keep a healthy system.
Right, exactly.
And cardiovascular, like I said, we talked about this last episode. It's the leading cause of death. All we're asking you to do is take charge of it. That's all.
And we just wanted to provide some options so that you have the option awareness, not the awareness that there's cardiovascular issues in the world, because you already know that.
Right.
But there are other ways to manage it outside of the conventional care.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can't think of another thing to add. What would we like these people to do?
Are you ready to get some dinner, babe?
We could talk for days.
I know we could talk.
But
for days.
the reality is...
But if you have questions, reach out. We're happy to help answer any questions.
Comments,
If we've left anything.
Emails.
Whether it's about body code, Vemibed, frequency.
Covered a lot of turf.
Music. We covered a lot of turf.
The freak show is what it is.
We're glad you're part of our freak show, people.
Yeah, what should they do to get there?
Like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Perfect.
I think I got it.
See how easy this is?
Thanks, friends. We'll talk to you later.
See you next
Bye.
time. Talk, 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 talk.